Carbon fiber parts are great, but carbon fiber parts are expensive. With the cost of material, with the cost of expensive machinery, naturally carbon fiber is an expensive material to use on a race car. And with the economy and with how expensive race cars are, a lot of us can't afford to just keep buying carbon fiber parts for our race cars. So since carbon fiber is so expensive, here at Tar Aero, we set out to create a product that performed just as well as carbon fiber for a lot less cost. By utilizing some high-end 3D printing filaments and high-end 3D printers, we were able to create a product that performs just as well as carbon fiber without burning a hole through your wallet. Typically, the number one alternative to using carbon fiber for splitters for racers is to use plywood. Typically, it's $50 to $70 for a 4x8 sheet of birch plywood, which is usually the preferred plywood for race car splitters. It's great because it's cheap, it's easy to work with, easy to cut up, easy to replace when you do break it, right? Some of the bad points about plywood is typically a 4x8 sheet of plywood weighs around 60 pounds, no matter what kind of plywood you have. And plywood also has a tendency to suck up moisture and swell and come apart and flake. Better if you use a marine grade birch plywood, but then you have to pay extra money for marine grade birch plywood. Beyond the fact that if you do have a off-track event or gardening event, like I like to call it, with your race car during a weekend, plywood splitters typically have a tendency to dig down to the dirt, and then they can either rip some structure off your car, go up underneath the tire, do all sorts of damage. Plywood splitters can be kind of dangerous. So are your only two options cheap plywood or expensive carbon fiber? No, we developed a new solution, something that performs just as well as high performance carbon fiber, but doesn't have the cost of carbon fiber. Also doesn't have the issues that plywood presents.
Before we talk about our part, let's talk about the good and bad of carbon fiber.
Carbon fiber. Carbon fiber is a fantastic material. It's extremely strong when built correctly, right? And mind you, what I mean by that is a lot of people get duped when they buy a almost essentially completely fiberglass piece with a carbon fiber layer on top just for looks. When you buy a real carbon fiber splitter, typically they're extremely strong. They can handle extremely high loads. They're very rigid. It's a great material to make splitters out of. But the bad part about this is typically carbon fiber splitters can run you anywhere between, on average, $4,000 to $5,000 and sometimes in excess of
$10,000 for one splitter.
To avoid the problems with plywood and the cost of carbon fiber, we've
come up with fully 3D printed splitter. Some of the benefits that go along with this, say for plywood, for example, when you make a plywood splitter, it's hard to get all the shape that you might need in that splitter to make it more efficient, to make it make more downforce, right? Typically, that's easier to do with carbon fiber because you're shaving foam and then wrapping carbon fiber, but then that's really expensive. With a fully 3D printed splitter, we design all the shape into the splitter in CAD, and then we print it out on the 3D printer to give you all the performance that you might want or need out of a carbon fiber splitter without the cost of the carbon fiber. It's starting to rain. We better finish this up. Some of the nice things that we can incorporate into our 3D printed splitters because they're printed in place is spaces for something like a bubble level to tell whether or not you actually have degree of angle or two, whether that be nose up or nose down on that splitter while it's sitting static on the car. We're also able to integrate in our splitter in ramps and fix some of the issues that we've had in the past with our other splitters, right? Typically when we put on end fences, you have to put it in with bolts, and of course you have fastener threads and bolt heads and things like that protruding out through that connection point, disturbing airflow. But here we're able to just slot this in onto the splitter. A lot more smooth, a lot more efficient for the splitter product altogether. This is the other end of that splitter, right? The bottom side, the side that creates all of the downforce. A lot of people have this misconception that splitters are all about creating high pressure on the front end, or the further out your splitter sticks from your bumper, the more downforce it's going to make, and that's not necessarily true. Majority of your downforce from any sort of splitter is going to be created on the low pressure side, where we create low pressure bands of air on the bottom side of the splitter. The smoother you can make this section, the more smooth you can make your bull nose, and then the smoother you can transition the front of that splitter into your splitter tunnels, the more downforce you're going to create. When we can print this all in place with mid-body depressions, smooth tunnel sections, a fully integrated bull nose into the front end, and include in fences, this will make more downforce than any plywood splitter ever can hope for. One of the best benefits of doing it this way, we're actually able to reduce labor by 95% compared to carbon fiber, and we're actually able to keep our team really small because of this. That creates a really good value proposition for not just the production cost, but also to our customers. And so we're able to pass on those cost savings in manufacturing off to our customers, making this much cheaper to produce and much cheaper for all the racers that we service. If you do decide that budget demands that you make your splitter out of plywood, we do produce some products to help you make your plywood splitter a little bit more efficient. So we do produce some splitter influences to help capture that high pressure on the front end and actually create a little bit more downforce. When you buy those, we provide you with a drill guide to help you place those holes perfectly. Also, we've also produced these splitter ramps, right, or tunnels. We produce these anywhere between a 1/4 inch thick on deck height to a full inch thick on deck height. And this just allows you to place the splitter ramp in place without having a flange on the bottom side. It helps create smooth airflow on the bottom side of your plywood splitter. That also comes with a cut guide as well, so you can actually get these placed in the exact spot you need them.
Here at Aero, we're utilizing some new technologies and 3D printers to help you pick up the pace for a lower cost. If you would like a custom splitter for your project, please reach out to us at taraero.com. Links to the website and the Instagram are down below. Thank you for watching.
Like and subscribe.